All right, guys, welcome. Let's see what we got for this week. As usually, I'm starting with USD CAD. We are reaching the target zone, I think, next week because the divergence was there. I'm looking for the same movement still for this high. Actually, and here is the target 2. Here's target 1. Nothing changed in the setup. Got the buy signal now on the destroyer, and you see on the RVM also that we are heading up. So didn't change much. The Australian dollar and NZD went down, and we are still in a bearish movement. So since like 5 4 no, from beginning October we are going down on the NCD, and looks like we are heading to this point. Although we need some correction in the following days, in my opinion, but this will be reached before correction. All right, let's see on back on USD CAD. Want to go on daily chart to see what is happening there, and I like what I see because here is also divergence on the distributor, and it is going up as well, and RVM made a cross and the retest on the 50 line, and this is about to go up as well. Right, and Australian NTD almost the same. We see the divergence, so there is still a bearish momentum, and as you see on the daily basis, we got here also a zone, and I think this is a good target point for Australian dollar NZD. So the next weekly, the Euro GBP. This is the Euro GBP. The momentum is changing, and we have a lot of bearish zones. Let's see on the fib as well. We broke the previous high, so because we didn't break through, I would like to see a continuation, but this is still a correction area. So I want to see first of all the previous high. One structure needs to break before we can go up. But still, if this don't break, then because of the VV plus also we are under the 0 line. So there is still a bearish momentum. That's what I want to see. All right. Euro CHF. The Euro CHF made a consolidation, like I talked on the last session. There is not a good movement, or yeah, the market was going sideways actually. What's happening? Okay. So if you see, there is on the price a consolidation. So you see my target zone, and after this, I want to see euro going up actually, and I want to see it to touch the 61 on the Fibonacci. Also, if you see, the zone is far away, but if we are looking on a daily basis, this consolidation, this target could go actually to the previous high, which is here. So yeah, I want to see this consolidation break actually. You see the break retest, and after that I have here trend line just connecting. So I'm looking for an up movement in this case, because this is heading up, and I can draw already my trend line like this. But we need to break the previous high before we are going to this point and to this point. And let's see on the fib, we are on the resistance zone, but I think this looks like it's about to break. Okay. And then the DXY. Oh, on weekly basis, I thought there will be some of the correction on this, and we got last week a push from the DXY down, and by end of the week there is a wick formed. So there is kind of like a buyer pressure on the DXY. Let's see on daily also. I see structural divergence, and I want to see the price coming back to this area, and after that a possible down move. But if you see this correction after the breakout, I would like connect my trend line like this. This is a correction wave which is made. Okay, and I want to see to break, and maybe this will be a big target, but I want to see this point and even retest on this point, and then a reverse move at least to this trend line here, because if you see it lasts for a long time at the RVM, I kind of like this work, because you see when it's starting, and you are able to see when it's ending, and the movement on the destroyer and the RVM is almost the same, but still there are differences, because the two indicators are based on different settings actually. Both of the indicators are RSI based, but the moving average is different, and the way that they move is different. But if you see, there is something similar in the two indicators, and I love to see on the RVM how it's heading down and heading up actually. Okay, so my point is a bullish DX5 for next week, although this is end of the year, which is likely when you trade end of the month or end of the weeks, they are kind of like high pullbacks, because the end of the year needs some correction from the currencies, and there could be big moves by this. So I want to see how it continues. Actually, my target zone is reached how I want to from the break uh, 5 or 6 weeks ago. Is most likely also on the fib. If you see, it was between two zones, and the momentum is still bearish on the VV, on the destroyer, on the RVM as well. But I think there is some correction needed. But first, we need to break out from this correction here. So if we don't start the week like a candle down, then I want to see a breakout and then I'm back to this point. But if this day starts with a bearish candle, and even we saw something similar not so long ago, um, not so long ago, yeah, this was a while ago. It was kind of like this move which happened last year, and is similar most of the at times something like this. Some ways, if you see, recognize the same pattern what we see. Okay, so first break this point, and if we break this point, we're gonna head to Fibonacci level 38, okay, which is also the previous high. And then I want to see the price make a movement in the first quarter, and this zone would be nice actually. Okay, let's see the Japanese yen on weekly basis. First of all, we reached the target zone, and there is a divergence. There is still a divergence. I want to see this price also a correction. Want to see this correction on the GPY pairs. Actually, what we see on a daily basis is something different, but also from the weekly basis, you see here we are in a bearish momentum, and the RVM is almost crossed, which is also a good sign for this correction here. And I want to see a correction to 38 Fibonacci, and then an possible up movement after that. Okay, delete those target point. Divergence is there on weekly. Yes. Yes. Okay. That's it for the XY. I want to see that correction movement and the two crosses. And here also the zero line cross as well. The AXY. What we see on the AXY, if you know, there is a stronger euro than a CHF, actually, and a possible stronger euro than a GPB. But I think next week, how it looks like, the DXY will still dominate the AXY. Okay, this needs also correction. Now we broke here the resistance zones. My target was actually achieved. Maybe a couple of pips difference there, but I got to was my previous point, and also the Fibonacci level. But if you see the price turned down, and we reached the overbought zone, and there is, if we are retesting, there will be still place to going up Okay, if we see retest around the RVM, then I want to see the price, the destroyer comes down and the price as well, and then maybe a convergence, what we gonna see here, but a second move up actually. Okay, because we broke the same structure what we saw on the XY, and now we need a correction and then the next move up. But don't forget, the XY is still bullish on long term. So this is always in my head for the DXY. Okay, but we are trading on momentum. Is all about what we see on the smaller time frames as well. The daily basis is about to cross the bearish momentum kicking in on the VVV plus. So yeah, I want to see the price coming back at least to the 50 point of the Fibo first, and after that we're gonna see, because we are sticking into those zones here, but I don't think the zone will be reached here. There's a XY. That was also interesting from last week with those week, because we couldn't break this point, and this is my draw. I'm waiting still for this. Okay, we need a correction. We got a break from here, but the price pulled it back, so I want to see a correction right here, and it will be around the fib level 38. Okay, and then another movement up after this candle here. There is no bull power there, and as you see on the REM, this is also about to break this, so the momentum is about to kick in, and this is why I like the REM. You see this, if you see it together, this is a long move, but now I think the price will be able to kick in with the momentum. Okay, the AXY almost the same, but the OC is still weak. You see their target zone is also reached from the previous high, and there is a divergence. So I want the same thing, not the same pattern, but I think we are heading down to the zone under. Okay, so I want to see Australian dollar weakness. Like I said, the NCD is still dominating here between the two. So I want to see the Australian dollar weakness for next week as well. Okay, the SXY. Yes, the SXY, he was in target zone, but the price has pulled back. There's still a bullish momentum on weekly basis, but it's already curving, it's already forming, and because of this candle on a weekly basis, I think it's almost time here also to make correction. Oh, that was a beautiful zone here, the previous point. Let's see on the Fibonacci. I would say first target here. First target here, because the price broke actually the previous high of the market. The resistance zone is broken. Now a pullback, and after that the price can rise again from the SXY, and that's why what I said on the Euro CHF, which is making sense in my opinion. Okay, let's see the BXY. Same here. My target zone is reached. what I wanted to see. First, the breakout, and here was my target zone on the Fib, and you see the reaction from the Fibonacci level, and I want to see a correction on the trend line around this point to the 38, and then I want for a following movement to the upside, because here also the resistance were broken. You see how it's going up, but it's needed a correction already. And on the weekly basis, this Fibonacci level was strong, so we need a correction. I would like say here was my point, but it went up in the previous days from the previous week. So yeah, this is my next target zone, and it will be a nice cross back to the trend line actually, and then a following movement up. This here is my second target. Maybe like this will be even better. Okay, but here you see also the same thing what you saw on the previous currencies, which means the DXY is about to dominate the market, because when the DXY rise, most of the currencies are falling. All right, and the super weak CXY, this is the next. My target zone already almost reached actually. From trend line went down, and here was my target zone. You saw by the last week, but there is still a bearish momentum on the USD CAD, and no, there is still a bearish momentum on the Canadian dollar, as you saw on the USD CAD, which is heading up, and you saw my target area. So there is a lot of zones inside the VVV zone, and this is my possible target zone. One is reached, and here's my second target zone as two. All right, and on daily basis, I think we already broke. Yes, we broke, and we made a retest, and here also divergence on daily basis, and yeah, the movement is about to go down. Okay, one more thing, the XO maybe. Same thing here. We made the break retest, which I shared in the Telegram group on 12-hour. It was a nice divergence and also break retest, and you saw the bounce. And on smaller time frames, this is like a head and shoulders here. Let's see, I think it was on 4-hour. Yes, kind of like head and shoulders. Here is the start of the shoulder. Here is the head, now making the second shoulder, and I want the price coming back to those areas if the DXY also gets stronger. As we saw on the US 30, here was my target zone on weekly basis. The previous high broke, and I drought here. This was my target zone. Although we saw a push by start of the week, but end of the week it was a very bearish momentum, and you saw like 1,000 points on the US 30 moving down, and my target zone was already almost reached actually. There is a red momentum in the VV plus, and we got the sell signal on weekly basis on the destroyer, and it looks like the momentum is about to change. So the next, what I want to see, you see the structure already broke here. Here was my target zone, but I think it's not enough. If you see what's happening on the RVM as well, we are heading down, and there is a lot of space to move actually. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. This will be the second target zone because this is an impulsive movement. And also on the volume, you see how the price rejects the 0 line here. The break retest on the moving average, and here we broke also 0 line. And yeah, there is a bearish momentum on daily basis. So I want to see a continuation on this pair. All right, maybe euro USD. Same thing as we saw on the DXY. Target was reached, although I didn't draw the target on the fib. I pointed to this point, to the previous support, and it got his rejection, but also from the 61 fib, which is, in my opinion, need a retest. And even if it's get retest on weekly basis, there is still a lot of space to make another movement up. So yeah, also on daily basis, we seeing right now a bearish momentum, and this two getting closer to each other. And yeah, here are my target zones. All right, that was it, guys, for this week. Have a nice evening, and we see each other next week.